Like the way it sounds, Frody? Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe. Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe for a minute. Just let me breathe. It's too hot, drop the top off the wagon. Lay back, fire like dragon. Man, I'm flying past Saturn. Out of here like I ain't that savage. Two.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Breeze's Saints going up against Flacco's Ravens. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395. We're at M&T Bank Stadium. The Raven defense taking the field a few moments ago, and their all-time leading sack man, Terrell Suggs, was firing up the troops. They get set for what should be a good matchup with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everybody, alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden, and you know, now more than ever, it's a passing league. We know that, and as Larry hit onto the open, we've got a couple of great passers squaring off here this afternoon.
And usually the discussion centers in on how they're going to compete against the opposite defense. But you and I had a nice little chat with one of these guys in this game, and they did say, look, I'm always competing against the opposite quarterback. If I play better than he does, I think my team has an advantage.
Makes the handshake afterwards a little sweeter, too. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Time to get a look at Joe Flacco as he and the Baltimore offense take the field. Now, Charles, I'm going to give you some negative numbers from this last year on Flacco, and then you give me your assessment of him. He had his fewest yards per game since his rookie year of 2008. And of the 12 quarterbacks who played all 16 games in 2017, his 18 touchdowns were the fewest. But he has hung around for a long time. What do you think of where he's at?
Well, I think that obviously the numbers are not what they're looking for. They did get better production in the run game, though, this year. Alex Collins, who they picked up for this season, really provided a nice spark. And you know they're a run-first team. And when they get that, that usually makes Joe Flacco a better player. But remember, he's coming off of a knee injury the year before, trying to get back into form. I think that his better years are still ahead of him. I don't think it's all behind him at this point, but he does need to improve his numbers.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. The play clock's running down. On second down, Flacco to throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Let's talk a little bit about safety Kenny Vaccaro. You can use him like the ultimate chess piece. Drop him in the box as a safety, turn him into a linebacker. Drop him back into coverage. He can play zone and also match up man-to-man against slot receivers, running backs, and tight ends.
Saints love that flexibility. He's been with them since coming into the league as a first-round pick in 2013. Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Steps away to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Alex Anzalone able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Saints is Ted Ginn. Here's Ginn. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Drew Brees ready to bring out the New Orleans offense. And for Brees, his streak of 3 straight passing titles came to an end this season. He finished second, but still, he went over 70,000 passing yards for his career.
And I don't think he was unhappy about that streak coming to an end, because that meant the running game had gotten back into vogue for him. And Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara, they really had big years, allowed him to be way more comfortable throwing the football. He did have his 12th straight year over 4,000 yards, though, with 4,334. So all was not lost for Drew Brees.
He is a free agent. Saints could use the franchise tag on him, but he says he wants to be a Saint for the remainder of his career.
And if that organization is listening to that, make him a Saint for the rest of his career. It makes your team that much better.
And this one also slow in developing, as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
Quarterback Drew Brees and head coach Sean Payton understand the passing game as well as anyone in the NFL, which led to a rating last year of #1 in passing and #1 in total overall offense. But the thing that they really do well is get the ball downfield. They understand holes in defenses, find receivers that way. But what they need to add, the running game, back to their mix. When they went to the Super Bowl and won it, they were #6 in the NFL. Last season, #16.
17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So that'll set the offense back 5, make it 1st and 15. Working from the gun, it's Brees. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 2nd down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Terrell Suggs is a veteran pass rusher that still commands the respect of every offense that he goes against. Even though he hurt his Achilles in 2015 and lost that season, he bounced back in 2016 with 8 sacks, still showing the explosiveness that's marked his career.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game, and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
On 2nd down, Collins. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays, too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now it's Flacco. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend there?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Wallace. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. Time running out here on the play clock. Looking for 2 yards here on third down. Flacco. And that's complete. It's Watson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Big chunks of yardage the last few plays, and the Ravens have another first down. They go play action here on first down. Now he's forced out left. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Play clock winding down. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Second down, Flacco now. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Flacco. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Ingram again. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
The Saints defense ready to set up shop again here. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big time. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Backing into the end zone, Flacco. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Macklin. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits 000. And time is up on the first quarter. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They've got a second down and 8 to start things out. Now a give to Collins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, Flacco. Caught left side, Gilmore. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Here's Here's a first down run with Collins. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people hear 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Third down, Flacco from the gun. And Watson has it right side. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Sam Cook now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Again, they'll run with Ingram, and he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And Gibbs got it. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down at the 19. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Breeze hands to Ingram. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be third down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now Breeze on third down. And Josh Hill has it. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. To give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here's Breeze to throw, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Well, after what we just saw, we know that with third down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Flacco here on 2nd down. Ball nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Now, that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Flacco. And Watson has it right side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
First carry for the vet, Danny Woodhead. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will make it 6-0. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
We shift our attention to Mark Ingram. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Midway through the first quarter, quick pass and he finds Wallace, and he'll end up at their own 45-yard line before being tackled. 1st and 10, quick pass is complete, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to their own 22-yard line. Now 1st and 10, defense will win the battle and get the sack. This will go for a loss of 7. Later on the drive, the catch is made after a quick pass, and he ends up at their own 49-yard line. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's turn it back over to Brandon and Charles in Baltimore.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight.
Looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Watson. And he is knocked down from the side. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From the gun, Flacco. Dancing to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Flacco from the gun. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it all. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it to make it now 13-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Able to spin free. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
34 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 38 yards. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And that'll make it 13-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. The return man, Chris Moore. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down right near the 27. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This is Collins on the handoff. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Ravens on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. He's got his man, that's Wallace. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mike Wallace with now his 2nd touchdown of this third quarter. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead is now 13. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On first down, Breeze. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 19 yards that time for number 19.
All right, say it with me now. There's a lot of different words we can come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch. So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Josh Hill, was the target. And that takes us from second to third down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Terrell Suggs in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on second. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. It's brought in right side by Ginn. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, 32 yards. And the Saints are back within a score. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having a pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
And now here come the Ravens. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
And that's something that's been lacking in Baltimore's running game the last few seasons, the ability to really hit on a big run.
Last year, their longest run was just 41 yards all season, 4 yards per carry, near the bottom of the league. First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Mackler. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Well, 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here's Flacco. Throw left side complete. That's Wallace. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Flacco looks to throw, and he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Here's Sam Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best. It keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field. That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Campanaro on the return. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Still going. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of the baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
The play clock's running down. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delayed game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Now Collins, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And not the start that he expected. You look at the numbers, though, he's got back here to his elite level.
And I get the sense that the defense game planned a little bit different than what he expected. You know, he had an idea from watching tape what he should expect. They changed things up on him a little bit and caused that slow start. But the best ones, they take it as a challenge, and they come fighting back. And that's exactly what we saw there. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Brees. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
They run with Collins. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Time running out here on the play clock. To pass, Flacco. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Flacco off play action. Right side catch, Gilmore. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play clock winding down. First and 10 here for Flacco. Complete to Gilmore over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Watson. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 9 good yards there on the run, and now third down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
On the ground, this is Woodhead. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Well, the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now it's Flacco. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's third down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Jeremy Maclin from 4 yards out. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. That was very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards into completion, but now they face third down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Breeze. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And this is caught at the 8. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that one. They needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Whoa, Flacco's going to throw. Breaks through the contact toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. That'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Setting to throw, Flacco. Well, it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And this score will stay right where it is. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within one score.
Yeah, and that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the fourth quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
On target over the middle to Hill. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He's back to throw. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Back to throw. And he's got some space here. Finding room to the 20. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. They'll look to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. He was looking for Mark Ingram there. And that'll bring up second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you played really well early, and then you kind of relax.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Down to 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to drop a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.